All right, part 2 on the prophecy within the prophecy and the deep cover and the spies, the house of Usher, Combs, Donald. All these things are going to be put forth on the table. The next few years, we're going to see the stars fall in a matter of speaking. It may not take a few years, but we'll see how fast this timeline goes. The Harris and the Combs and the hard part, all those things are right before you all, and those rat tails, they're before you all, and that back comb to get that tease going in. That's all here. So these are all playing out as the prophecy within the prophecy unfolds. And all things are built on these times. And every story and every movie and every thing that you see and watch and read and whatever else is built on these times in one way or another. Okay, it's like a rock, the Big Bang, hitting the water, hitting the earth, hitting the earthquake, the earthquake, and it reverberates and shatters through. Okay, so as that rock hits, it sends it out, and we're going into these things backwards. And then once we get into backward, we're going to start looking forward. We're looking back in time. Some of us are looking forward in time because we know where we're at, the new heaven and earth. And we're looking forward, like when are we going to actually like land? You know, we're like seeing it. We're here, but we're not landing. Okay, so the deep cover, the darkness upon the deep, the darkness, the black male, all those things are going to be playing out. And this is going to be where he's up on the high point, he's whatever, and he's going to seam in some other things. And this is where he's shown as in a different light. Okay? That come back kid in another way. The things of our world. Okay? This is all for a time and a place and a setting. As it is for these things, it is going to take us into a time, place, and setting. And different things are being tested. And what's good then is not necessarily good now. What's bad then is not necessarily bad now. The scripted reality, right? This can be playing into a position to where where we saw with Vince McMahon in his documentary where he had like 100 mirrors or whatever it said, but and like the Enter the Dragon, where we're gonna have this room of mirrors or the ceiling, glass ceiling or whatever, right? And there's gonna be cameras at every angle, or like Studio 50. We're gonna see the 80s and 90s in a different way. Saw Studio 54, the stars associated with these things going on, okay? And then we saw Reagan ramp up the government 3 times or whatever. And then we saw the drug war, which was a war on its own citizens in another way, okay? So we're going to see a war on its own citizens another way. We're going to see a drug war in another way. We're going to see the years of Reagan in another way. All right. And some of these are going to be good on one spectrum and going to be bad on another spectrum. So the war on drugs took it from the cops not being able to have a SWAT team and knock down your house and whatever else they do today. All right. That made you an enemy and got rid of your constitutional rights so they can go and do those things. That's part of the test of the bell worship. Okay, there's nothing necessarily wrong with cops if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But most of them, 90% of the time, are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. All right? So, that bell worship is going to break off. There's going to be like the nice Jetson style system, and there's going to be the Terminator cop prick ass system. Okay, so as far as how America's leaning, but you may not want either one, because then this Jetson one may be the fucking 1984 Wayland. So that might be where you just have to leave her. And you might need to leave this bitch, the Lady Liberty, for a couple years. If you got enough time or money or resources or whatever to leave, then you got enough to come back for the most part. All right? But we'll play these cards as it goes. So there's somewhere the Hunter Epstein or Hunter Biden laptop and then Epstein stuff. This is just like a little glimpse, and we're going to get it put together. All right, and that's where you're going to see Combs and Donald and all these stars and whatever, and the stars are going to fall and things are going to reset and whatever else. But this is as far as information that I have collected from people I know personally, whether that be a small stone or a big stone here or there or whatever, right? I know these stories take place, and me myself being in the DFW area back in 98, 99, 2000 to 2005 or whatever, in the party scene or whatever, I know these types of parties and things take place. And I've seen things take place at parties that we'll probably be talking about on these upcoming scenarios and such. But this is just kind of how it was at those parties. And each party had its own little vibe. And either way. So the things that's been moving through the spirit since 2020, and the things that I've seen here and there, and the things that I've heard here and there, and the things that come to me through spiritual feeds per se, where somebody just contacts me out of the blue and says, hey, this and this and this, I've been listening to you for however long, and this and this or whatever. It's just different points of light coming together to show me different things, and then I've seen different things, and then I hung out with Paulo Costanzo, smoked a joint with him in the bathroom in the Las Vegas party thing with the so-called Scott. He based the hangover on our little bachelor party that time. So I know it on a real aspect on one side, but there's also this other side. So it seems to me that yes, there is a scripted portion, but I think it's much smaller than what the so-called community is telling us, and they're telling us these things to hide real movement of the light, so people can't understand the times coming forward, because we are going into the time where Jesus is working through men, and as Jesus works through men, that's the truth, that's the light, the lampstand working through men, and they don't know where they're getting the information that's just coming to them and whatever else, and they just need to share it. So it's up to just sharing it, and it's up to the eyes and ears to either gather it or not gather it. So it's just part of the end times where the mysteries are being revealed, and as they're revealed, they are they just have to go out and shake the waters. All right, so we'll eventually get to that ripple effect, And then the money is going to hit that ripple effect as the bricks came off that summit. They threw it off of there, and then the ripple effect is going to hit the old currency, the flood, in December, according to the last so-called news report. But as the light moves through these people, the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, they might hear this, that, or the other. The operator system, they used to have, who do you want me to connect you to? And then they're listening to your whole conversation, okay? The whole time, they're gathering your name and they're giving you your name and number. While they give you the name and number, Social Security, they're gathering your name and number, seeing what your message and name is about. Are you marked on the right hand? Did you go and vote? Are you marked in the right hand? Here, give me my shot. Shot in the arm or shot in the head. Either way, you end up dead. It's the old saying in the old truther community. It's one of those points of light that are true that they give you to get you wrapped in there. Either way, so the truth movement is kind of just that CIA operative given you by Alex Jones, the Prison Planet, and the InfoWars, kind of telling you it's like a mirror to kind of people or whatever. All right. And in Hollywood, a little reminder, when you get kids to play in Hollywood, the kid for that man-child time frame, the kid is usually played by an older actor. So this is tying into the so-called masked man or the Damascus, the Don twin or the Biden twin, or Biden twin, Trump twin, whatever. Okay, but this is where the two characters are being one. So expect to see those kinds of things. The House of Usher with the glass ceiling coming down. They can tie it to a stadium event. Okay. And we're coming up onto a big stadium event, but I'm not going to go into those things because I don't want to. We need to just get this show on the road, basically. So if they're going to be powwowing it there, don't want to. I'm not going to play chess with it too much. Either way, willing to hear, folks. The prophecy within the prophecy is all playing out before you. Okay, it's painted, it's written, and they tell you this is the Word of God. This is the Word of God, written in 1611 or whatever nonsense they tell you. Preserved. They tell you this because they don't want you knowing that every book in the library, the lie is, well, that soap where man can either stay underwater and become mildewy, which is now, or you can rise above and walk above the bubbles. Okay? Either way, the lie, you need to remember how it's produced in different ways. That soap is produced in different ways. So those bubbles are not all equal. Some bubbles can be made with that big bucket, two-hand thing or something. Well, it's just not working. Got too much wind in it. The prophecy within the prophecy, the bubbles. It's right there in front of you all. Okay? It's all around you. There's a few that's going to find it.